Hi, my name is Tony Stark. How are you guys? No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna leave the age thing to you all. How old would you think I am? I started playing, I would consider, when I started playing, I was kind of a late bloomer because I was probably 11 or 12 years old when I first picked up a guitar. And again, it was because of MTV, it was because of rock and roll music. Obviously, anybody who knows me knows I am a Bon Jovi fan. So it was because of those reasons that I really wanted to play guitar, but I didn't know anything about how to play it. So I remember in the 90s, or in the 80s, late 80s actually, locally here in Kuwait, there was this very famous bookstore in Salmiya. And I used to go there and pick up a few Archie comics. Yes, Archie's. They were cool, man. And Archie's back now, so yeah, there. So I picked up this book, and it came with a videotape. And for those who don't know what a VHS or videotape is, it was what we used to use before DVDs, and now DVDs are gone. But so it was just a book that came with a videotape. So I bought that, and I went home, and honestly, for the next year or so, it was just me and that videotape, and I would play the video and just pause it at a certain time because we had to pause it. It wasn't like a DVD or an MP4 or something. So I would pause it and just learn whatever was on tape and on the book. And that's it. That's how I started really learning guitar. So it was really around that age. Before the whole cafe/restaurant movement here that happened in Kuwait and where most musicians play, before that, it was probably people's basements, talent shows at schools and stuff like that. Yeah, really, we were just in each other's houses and just jamming out. Yeah, the scene was unheard of at that time. Biggest accomplishments, wow. Listen, I started playing guitar and doing this whole gigging thing before it was cool, before it was, acceptable in the local society. And some of you might know that. Back in 1997, I released a full-length rock album here in Kuwait. What were you guys doing in 1997? It's a really good question. Some of my fans were not born. But a lot of people don't know that about me. So I had long hair and I was playing the guitar. I had the guitar everywhere that I went. The guitar went with me. And it wasn't cool back then to do that. I was bullied, I was beat up, you have no idea. Seeing a guy with a guitar and long hair in the 90s in Kuwait was a big no-no. It was taboo, unheard of. But the passion was there. I was really passionate about what I was doing. So I kept at it. Obviously going to college in the US and meeting other people who were like me and learning a little bit more about music and guitar. So, and then coming back here and starting this gigging scene in Kuwait. This was before Instagram. This was before Facebook. It is quite an achievement, I think, to make a name for yourself locally in Kuwait as a Western guitar player. So to me, this is quite an achievement. It's staying the course. It is, being there. I've been bullied when I was younger, and during that time when I first started, about 2005, when I kind of started playing here in Kuwait, around cafes. Oh, I got in a lot of trouble. I've been taken to every police station you can name of. Yeah, it was really unheard of that somebody was playing that. But I look around now and it's so awesome to see everybody doing it, being acceptable. So I really hope that I paved a little bit of the way to open up the market and to tell people that it was okay to be a musician and to do that. So honestly, this is one of the greatest achievements that I think I did, is staying the course, opening up these doors, and hopefully this next generation that's coming out is going to be awesome and very creative. My favorite genre, obviously, is rock and roll. It's in my blood. Rock is in my blood. But I just want to say something about that. Growing up, nowadays, I kind of listen to a lot of other stuff, and I just want to say I listen to everything. Everything that is good. So whatever good music is out there, and to me, really, genres right now are kind of being combined into just one thing, music. Even rock, I mean, nowadays you kind of hear it, it's just combined with a lot of other things. So another genre, today is kind of hard to say, but I'm very much into everything. So I like hip hop, I like electronica. I do like a good techno song every now and then. So yeah, this is it. I remember getting this question, and I'm so happy that people know me enough by now that they're like, okay, other than Bon Jovi, who do you like? I think I kind of said it before. I listen to a lot of things nowadays. So, and the word idols now is, is a little weird, especially as you grow a little older. I think I kind of heard that somewhere where they say, you either, oh, I'm sorry, what was it? I heard something that somebody said the other day, and it was kind of cool where you either see your idols fade away or die. And that's kind of true, So sometimes we admire an idol, and again, in life, things move on and life, goes on. So these idols either die quickly and remain those idol form, or they just grow older and fade away. So I really hope that doesn't happen to the people that I like, and Bon Jovi is still doing his thing. But growing up, there were so many to me. Michael Jackson is obviously a name that comes to mind. And when you say idols, could a band be an idol for me? So I had a lot of favorite bands back then, just as awesome as Bon Jovi, Def Leppard, Guns N' Roses, Iron Maiden. So all of these were really idols of mine musically. John Bon Jovi will always be my number one idol. He's just an awesome guy, and even as an older gentleman, he's still doing well. I love all of you, so of course I love you. Whoever asked that question, I love you. You know what? I hate playing in the middle of a mall anywhere. Because yes, you do get criticized by those little geezy youth teenagers that walk the malls. So yeah, I get criticized a lot when I do play at a mall because everybody's there. And they just want to just be seen and be heard. So they always pass by and say something, yeah, you know, you're not that good. All right. And he's listening to like an Arabic song that has nothing to do with me. So yeah, you get criticized every now and then. Who doesn't get criticized? Haters will hate. How do I deal with bad days? Wow. Honestly, I think as a musician, we kind of have an advantage to dealing with bad days. When I have a bad day, I'm gonna stay home. I'm gonna chill. But usually, I do pick up an instrument of some sort. If I'm having a bad day, you'll see me at home, alone, with the guitar in my lap. So, or the piano. I also play piano. So sometimes, yeah, I really am in a bad mood. And you see me just dragging the chair and just sitting at the piano and just playing whatever comes to mind. So every now and then you come up with a good song. So that's how I deal with a bad day. I love potatoes. I love French fries. I love mashed potatoes. I love baked potatoes. Any potato is good for me. Honestly, no, it really doesn't bother me that the audience sometimes are talking, louder than the music is. A lot of things that musicians have to understand here, it's really an art form, I guess. Well, worldwide musicians as well, but mainly locally because the scene is based on restaurants and cafes, not really, huge concert halls and that. So most of the time we get invited by a cafe or a restaurant to play for them, to play for the people. The people are coming for the food, mainly. The music is kind of secondary. So it's not a rock concert. It's not a concert. It is just, something nice that you do over dinner. So yeah, what do people want to do over dinner? They want to talk, they want to have fun, they want to laugh. So no, it really doesn't bother me. I don't have a lot of funny circumstances in my performances. There were a few incidents during like random performances. Outdoors. Anytime you play outdoor, it's always a risk. You never know what the weather is going to do. I just had a show recently. It was this really upscale kind of show, VIP people are there, and husbands and wives dressed to the nine, they're all looking good, and the food is so artistic, and it's got like one leaf on it, and I was playing there. So we managed to set up, and it was like on the 14th, 15th floor, and just on that day, the wind decided to do something extremely crazy. And they had this decor over there where it was like these huge glass panels. It was really nice if you see it at first. Halfway through the show, the wind starts blowing, and it's the 14th floor, I think. Everything started flying. Things started falling, and glass was shattering everywhere. Waitresses were walking out with like food, and the food started flying. It was honestly, I was away from that, but I saw the food kind of flying on people and stuff like that. It was funny to me, but speakers started falling, so I think that was the end of the show. So, and that's not really funny incident, it's just an incident, and yeah, things happen like that, especially outdoors. Oh, for sure. I always have events on the horizon. Follow me on Instagram, on Facebook. Follow me on social media. That's usually where I post my gigs. Some shows happen all of a sudden. They happen on the spur of the moment. So I have to post about them on Instagram like a day or two before. Some gigs are long-term, so definitely plenty of shows coming. The season just started. My last song, I just released a track right now. It's called Never Let Me Go. So it's on YouTube, it's everywhere. It's on iTunes, it's Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, you name it. So go get it. The song is Never Let Me Go. And yeah, it was quite different. Most people know me as a rock and roll guy. And this song was so different than anything that I've been doing. It's very electronica based, it's very Daft Punk inspired. So yeah, it was a difficult song to do, and it is gonna be on my album, on my next album. And honestly, what I wanna do with my album, and by the way, the album hopefully is coming out, I'm hoping that by mid-2020 should come out, so keep an eye out on that. Honestly, I want people to know my album and to remember just one thing. It is a rock tribute album. I'm kind of giving tribute to rock and roll. This is the genre that I love and I grew up loving. But I kind of mentioned earlier, music and genres in general are starting to morph into just one thing. So it's hard to say that I am strictly a rock artist, that I am strictly a techno artist. You're seeing collaborations happen everywhere by so many different artists. This is what I want to do. The one thing that I am noticing though is rock and roll is kind of taking a back seat in the music industry right now. In the 80s, the 70s, the 80s, almost in the 90s, rock was king, right? We still say, I want to be a rock star, it's still a saying that we say. But right now in the music today, it's, again, not as popular maybe for a lot of people. And this is what I want to do. I want to kind of bring it back in my own style and my own way. And I can't just bring back the 70s, 80s rock and just do that and give it to you and you guys will automatically like it. That's impossible. So, and what I want to show people is that rock can be infused into a lot of other genres, so to speak. So it's really going to be a rock tribute album it's going to be a rock song everywhere, but with different flavors, with different sounds, with different vibes. So I really hope you guys like the album when it comes out. And yeah, I hope you guys like it. Can I what? Sing? Oh, without a guitar. Okay. Sing my favorite song. Listen, the question should have been, what is your favorite song? My Lord, and I don't think it's a question I can answer. My favorite song, I've got so many. But again, maybe I gotta go to my roots, and I guess a Bon Jovi song will do. And nothing says Bon Jovi like Living on a Prayer, so. We gotta hold on to what we got. It doesn't make a difference if we'll make it or not. We got each other, and that's a lot for love. We'll give it a shot. Oh, we're halfway there. We're living on a prayer. Take my hand. We'll make it, I swear. Oh, living on a prayer. Yeah. That was another good question. I remember getting that question earlier on Instagram or somewhere. Again, I gotta elaborate on the question. If I was forming a band like here locally, or if I had to choose from every artist around. So I think if I'm choosing from artists from around the world, my guitarist would probably be Slash from Guns N' Roses. My drummer would be, man, there's a lot of good drummers. But I think I'm a big fan of Lars Ulrich from Metallica. My bassist would be Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And the singer would be me, right? If I'm forming a band, then I'd be the singer, right? Now, this is like part 2 of the question. Now, if you ask me, you're forming a band and who would I form it with here? You know, the local music scene. Again, there's a lot of talented people here in Kuwait, man. And the scene is just getting bigger and more awesome. But I'll always stick with my original band. Omar is my guitarist and Aziz is my drummer. I've got Jacob backing me up on vocals and guitar. And I've got Hussein on bass. So these guys are awesome. This is my band. And again, one thing I want to say about that is there's a lot of awesome musicians. And I did play with a lot of amazing musicians in Kuwait. Some of the best. Chemistry is very important though when you form a band. Sometimes you can be the best vocalist ever, playing with the best guitarist ever, but if you guys don't mesh together, if you guys don't have chemistry, it's not gonna work. So sometimes, honestly, it doesn't have to be the best guitarist and the best drummer and the best vocalist together to do that. No, if you guys just really like each other and just have chemistry, I promise you the music will flow. It'll be fun. The people will know that it's fun for you guys, so they're gonna enjoy it even more. So it's all about chemistry. Where or what would I want to do in 2 to 3 years? More successful, more money, for sure. Honestly, it's not just about that. I want to be healthy, I want to be happy, and those 2 things I just said, of course. It doesn't matter wherever I am in the world, music has definitely got to still be a major part in my life, so that's it. Of course I believe people deserve a second chance. I don't even know who asked that question, but yeah, for sure. Everybody deserves a second chance. I believe in third chances too. Maybe not a fourth, but yeah, definitely a second chance for sure. Yeah, there is talk that I might be shooting my next video outside of Kuwait. My last 3 videos were shot here in Kuwait. It's awesome, but honestly, a lot of times it's hard to find the technical abilities. Kuwait is not exactly the biggest country in production and videography. So finding the right studios, the right people is always difficult. And obviously there are limits to what you can do in terms of daringness. Let me just put it that way. So yeah, we are in talks about shooting it somewhere else where we are more free to, experience, the outdoors maybe, do it outdoor. And, we've talked to a few girls, models who might be in the video, so clothes is always a topic here in Kuwait when we talk to the models. What am I going to be wearing? Is it going to be showing too much? So things that don't matter when you do it abroad. CP magazine. I love you guys. You guys have been a big part of my life professionally. This is the second cover I do with CP Magazine, so we go way back. I love you guys and keep doing what you're doing. You guys are running the market. Everybody knows you. See you soon. Awesome, cool, loving. Night owl, definitely. I've had bacha. I'll be back. Phones ringing loud. Actually, yeah. Nothing. Nothing. My coffee is always hot. Oh, actually, I do have a word. A friend of mine came up with this word, Zakified. And it means anything that's been touched by a Zak. That's an easy one. My guitar. I was probably playing a gig somewhere